All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Red Eye Hour. It is 10 o'clock on April 19th, 2024. We're back for another episode. Glad y'all can make it. Whoever watches it live, whoever watches after the fact. But I'm back. We are back with your co host, Ray. And yeah, we're just going to kind of a little bit freestyle like we did last week, a little bit. Talk
Yep.
about some current events and stuff going on and things going on with Top Shelf. I guess I can start with that. That's what I've been starting with all the other videos. So we celebrate our 1 year, which was on April 10th. Was the technical like day that we opened our doors, but we're celebrating it this weekend, tomorrow actually. Um, we'll have our normal hours from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. K Rock will be there doing a live broadcast from 12 to 2 p.m.
Yep.
Also, we'll have a food truck set up, Cynthia's One Bite Delight, which is like a soul food truck.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
that's gonna that's gonna be parked like right next to our store.
Yeah.
Um, and so it should be a fun little day. We're gonna have a bunch of sales going on inside the store on a lot of different products. So good day to catch some savings. Get some lunch, like
Coming and
celebrate
celebrate with us.
420. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it.
Yep.
David G's the radio host from K Rock that'll be the DJ doing the live remote.
Yep.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
For sure.
You want
And
to talk about
if you haven't checked out his podcast, what is that thing called?
getting sidetracked?
Dude, that's spot on. That's a really good one.
Yeah, it
I
is.
watched
I
a couple of
listened.
the episodes and I'm like, yeah, they got a good trifecta thing going there. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean? How they
listened
have it
to it
all
on
set up.
Spotify. I listened to it on Spotify quite a bit. Um, they are really good.
Yeah.
It's a good podcast,
Yeah.
so everybody should check that out
Yeah, for sure.
for sure, man.
For sure.
You
So
want to talk about some of the sales we're having tomorrow at the store?
well, most people know 4 joints, $20. It
There
includes
we
all
go.
the elixirs and the geeked. Talked to the distributor of Geeked, got him to come down off the price a little bit just for this event. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. Shout out to Tristan. He doesn't watch this, but he helped out and we got a decent price on those so we could get him down that low for the weekend. Top shelf Hemco flour, the Diamond Heights flour, the regular elixir flour. That's all going to be. You just gotta have to come in and check it out. It's going to be on sale, and
Yeah,
it's first come first serve. When it's gone, it's gone. There's nothing we can do about that. We just tell people try to get there early. I know it's Saturday morning and people are like, kind of sleeping in from working the week and probably out drinking or not maybe smoking tonight and just want to sleep in. But yeah, I had quite a few people say like, hey, yeah, I need one for today, but I'm coming back tomorrow.
for sure.
So yeah. And I mean we'll
Yeah,
have edibles, disposables, pretty much, yeah.
that exotic, that Diamond Heights flower is exotic indoor THCA flower, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, from
I think it's
extracts.
like it's strong, but it's like a very chill, mild kind of a relaxation effect it gives to it. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty good actually. I had the hybrid of it, which was called Jealousy, and there's
Yeah.
actually some like review videos on YouTube. You can go and look it up of that specific kind of flower.
Yeah, because the Jack
Um,
Harrier is actually really, really good.
yeah, that's a sativa, right?
Sativa, yeah.
Mhm.
So they've got good stuff. It's just, man, people see that snow caps and they just be like,
Yeah,
and don't worry. I'm trying to get a different company in for snow caps. If you're watching, I can't say who it is because there's all this legal paperwork that was the most paperwork we've ever had to do for an account was that one day when you threw the sign. There's a little dent in the wall now if you didn't notice.
Well, my bad, man. Yeah, I have my moments.
Like, oh, this motherfucker. So, but we're working on it. Haven't heard back from him though, but I mean, I'm gonna, I stay, looking for distributors and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and their percentages just look really fucking good. I think it was like 60 or 70%. So,
And that's the thing too, man. It's trying to educate people too on like, it's not always like about the percentages sometimes. I know like a good, it's good to have sometimes you want a good high percentage, but you can get one that's a lower percentage, like significantly lower, but depending if it has like certain terpenes in it,
Northern
could be
Lights.
could be just as good as a higher percentage flower.
Yeah, like we got the Northern Lights in. So it's
Right.
got those Northern Light terpenes, and then it's 25.2%. But I'm
Mhm.
guaranteeing if you're a Northern Lights fan and you try it, you're gonna be like, yeah. Like it's just as good, if not better, because it's just how the terpenes are gonna work with your body and your mind,
It's the same,
you know.
same as that Gary Payton. I had
Oh yeah.
people, had a guy come in tonight. He had he's tried the Habit, he's tried the Snow Caps, he's tried the Gary Payton, but tonight he went back to the Gary Payton just to switch it up because it still is a really good flower.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean,
Yeah,
out of all the companies we get, yeah, I like the Habit packaging. I like the new stuff that they're doing where the back is open. But Hemp Living has it sealed jar, glass, you know what I mean? Bovita humidity pack on it to keep it fresh. You know what I mean?
right.
So I kind of like what they do there. So, but yeah, man. Big weekend. Big weekend.
Big weekend.
Big weekend. So I guess we get into the news.
Right.
Whatever
Yeah,
you
let's
want.
get into the news. Sorry, I'm messing with my settings a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth between the Sacramento New Orleans game because it's a play-in for the 8
Oh,
seed, I
okay.
think. Yeah, but
So, some news this week that's happened. I don't know if people have been paying attention, but Dubai has been flooding. Now, Dubai's government, anyway, they don't have much green over in that country, but what they do have of it, and they've created this technology called cloud seeding. So, whenever they need it to rain, which they usually do like on a weekly basis, just to, for the green stuff they do have in that country, whether it's trees or grass or crops or whatever,
just
they can seed.
agriculture in general. Yeah,
Yeah, agriculture in general, they can cloud seed, have it rain and everything, and that's just what they use it for. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing really like sinister about it. It's just technology. They know how like what to put in to the clouds. It makes it produce rain. It's not a big deal. Well, with technology, sometimes things don't work exactly the way they're supposed to, and like it started raining and just wouldn't stop. Um, so it basically rained like as much rain as they get. I think like in a year they got like in like a few days or something like that.
damn.
Uh, I'm gonna bring it up here. Let me get it on the full screen. All right, here we go.
Scenes in Soak Dubai tonight look apocalyptic. Roads turned into rivers, trees barely still standing as wind sends debris flying. The tarmac flooded at Dubai International Airport, the second busiest in the world. Imagine being a passenger on this plane, battling rising waters, seeing this out your window. For hours, flights were halted as stranded passengers piled up. Tonight, Dubai Airport telling passengers don't show up unless you've confirmed your flight's still leaving.
There are hundreds and thousands of other passengers just like me in this airport who have been waiting for 10 hours, 16 hours.
In 24 hours, Dubai drenched with more rain than the city usually gets in nearly 2 years, shattering records in a desert metropolis known for being
Damn.
Since the UAE started keeping track of rainfall in 1949, it's never seen anything like this.
So this is not a time lapse. This is real. I've never seen this much lightning in my life before. This is crazy.
The extreme rainfall disrupting life across the region. Private schools closed and government workers sent home, with many roads impassable. A cat clinging to a car in water as high as the headlights, saved by a rescuer in a boat. This historic rain turned deadly. At least one man killed in Dubai when his car was swept away, while in neighboring Oman, authorities say at least 15 were killed in flash flooding. Dozens more rescued, some by helicopter. And in nearby Pakistan, the death toll has now surpassed 60, officials say. In the UAE, the unprecedented rain is raising concerns about something called cloud seeding, which the UAE has been doing for years.
Cloud seeding is an attempt to get more water out of clouds. This is largely by making the droplets larger and more able to survive.
Cloud seeding uses airplanes to disperse chemicals like silver iodine inside clouds to give moisture something to cling to. Badly needed in deserts like the Gulf, but not when it falls this fast. The UAE's National Center of Meteorology says no cloud seeding took place during this rainfall, but doesn't deny cloud seeding flights took place in the days before. But weather experts say it was unlikely a factor, given how the whole region was inundated with rain.
The weather system that produced the rain in Dubai is over hundreds of kilometers, really very many organized thunderstorms. There's a real mismatch between what you might do in a local way with cloud seeding and this regional rainfall we've seen over a really wide area.
Tonight, Dubai is cleaning up from the chaos and bracing for more extreme weather to come. Across the globe, extreme weather events are...
All right. So we'll stop that. Yeah, so pretty crazy. Lots of rain. Sounds like it's kind of let up now though, so they're starting to clean up and everything. But I guess they'll have to kind of figure that out for the future, you know. They were showing like inside of hotels on this one video, and kind of just talking about their construction in general. You know, they don't really build things that in the purpose of like keeping out water, because they never have to really deal with it. You know what I mean? And it was just like, it was just coming in, you know?
Dude, it's the desert for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, stop. Stop. Like, I'm not a climate denier, and I'm not I'm not either way when it comes to the climate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, global warming is gonna kill us all, and I'm not like, oh, it's a hoax. I'm neither one of those, because I'm not smart enough to, know that stuff. But what I do know is Earth has its own ecosystem. Okay, you have deserts, you have jungles, the Amazon, the high plains. They have their own environments. Why are you trying to mess with it? Oh, because we need water for like food and our crops. And I'm like, you're trying to grow grapes somewhere that grapes aren't supposed to be grown.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, stop. But they're going to continue to do dumb shit like this, and then there's going to be something catastrophic happen. Like, you saw that plane on the tarmac. Like, what? Like, if I'm like a passenger on an airplane, I'm like, I'm not getting on an airplane. I'll stay here for another week.
Yeah.
No freaking way.
Kind of reminds me of like terraforming, you know? Where in a way,
aliens,
you know, because they're like changing.
Yeah,
they're trying to change the landscape and the original natural way it is to like something else, you know?
It's already habitable, but you're
Right.
trying to make it something that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, no. It's, what did he say? It's more rain in a week than they get in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay. Like, I don't know if like somebody like didn't carry a 1 or move a decimal point or something when they were doing the calculations, but like somebody's gonna get an email because it's like, dude, this isn't working right. This isn't working. Plus, it's Dubai. My whole thing about Dubai is like, it's not like one of the richest places in the world. Like, have everything flown in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's Like,
Right.
no way.
Yeah,
So
they have a ton of money. They say that some of those princes and kings over there in Dubai in that area, some of them they say could actually be trillionaires.
yeah, and like it's whatever for me.
That's crazy.
Once you're in like people don't understand how much a trillion is. They hear that they're like, "Oh, that's a lot of money." I'm like, "No, motherfucker, that's 999 million billion." You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
you
yeah,
can't spend that. So what's
right.
the point? What I mean, overall, what is the point? You have $1 trillion. Whoop de
Yeah,
fucking do. Like, you're not going to help humanity, or you know what I mean? Like, make my insurance cheaper, make my gas cheaper. It's just, I don't know. But I
well,
mean, you get what you get. Like, that place is, it's like that. And yeah, they're doing. I mean, they did the same thing here. What do they call it here? Not CERN. It started with an H, I think. There's one in
Harp,
Oklahoma. Harp.
Harp.
Yeah, Harp. You
It's in
know, like there's
Alaska.
a yeah. Well, I thought there was one in Oklahoma too.
Well, there could be, but the main one's in Alaska.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't real." Like, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I get it, like clouds and the atmosphere is electromagnetic currents and stuff like that. And yeah, I guess you could try to play with it, like sending waves of whatever. But I'm not gonna act like I'm smart enough to know. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's how you mess stuff up. Because Earth is like, she's like, hey, I got this,
right.
guys.
Good old Harp.
Yeah. So there was that this week, and I don't know if this next thing I'm gonna go to the next topic
Okay.
is so, and we don't have to pull up a video on it. I don't want to, you know what I mean, like talk about it too much. So at Trump's
Ooh, yeah.
trial in Manhattan, I guess a dude set himself on fire with like, I don't know, some kind of, like lighter fluid or something like that, like outside the courthouse. I don't know if it was in protest of Trump or in support of Trump. I don't know. But what I do know is he's not dead.
What I
He's
do
in the
know is I want
ice.
to play
Yeah,
a
he's
video
in
of it.
critical condition and like, one of the big hospitals in New York City. But I'm like, dude, that sucks, man. Like, you're like, I'm gonna set myself on fire and I'm gonna die. I'm like, not
Right
dickhead, you're gonna live. You know what I mean? Your skin's gonna really fucking hurt.
here, I want to play a video. I don't care.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
know. I know. I know. Shut up.
The crews rushed to a park just across the street from the courthouse.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Everybody,
Fire
the video.
to douse the flames engulfing a 37-year-old man. After burning for several minutes, he was carried away on a stretcher and taken to the hospital in critical condition. It does not appear the incident has anything to do with the trial of the former president, which continued on without interruption. Authorities say the man was carrying colorful pamphlets that were full of anti-government conspiracies. They don't believe he was targeting any particular person or group. CBS's Jerika Duncan will start us off tonight with the latest details.
It was a shocking image.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Too graphic in full detail in the middle of a New York City park.
Okay. I'll turn it off.
but yeah, like I don't get it, but like how bad are you at killing yourself? Now you wanted to do it in one of the most horrific ways, and now you're
Right.
alive, and anything that was left on your body as far as skin or above it, it hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. That's kind of suck, dude.
Oh, for sure, man.
Oh my God. But yeah, there was that. What was that other thing that I was talking to you about?
I don't know.
Oh, let me check. Let me check my notes real quick. Let me check my notes. Oh
Michael Keaton.
yeah, yeah.
What was it?
This one. The basketball player. I think his name was Portney or Portnoy or something. It was like the Toronto Raptors. So get this, because I watched something on ESPN with Screaming A. Steven, and basically this guy is banned from the NBA. He is no longer. He cannot work for the NBA, be on a team, nothing. Like lifetime ban, like P Rose, right? He bet against the team he was playing on. So it's not like he wasn't affecting the game in any way. He was. And then they brought up like how he like took himself out of the game at certain points, and like he just had a really bad game. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, dude, you worked your ass off. And we were talking about this. You work your ass off your whole life to get to a pro level in any sport. The NBA to me is the hardest one to get into. It is, because legitimately, you think about it, most guys that are superstars, if you're a starting five, you're playing in the league for 10 plus years. Okay. So if you're good enough to get into the NBA, normally you're going to be in a rotationary role. And they only have like 4 or 5 bench warmers or something like that. Like there's not a lot of people on an NBA team. So you worked your way all the way up to this. You get in the league and then you gamble it away. And for what?
Yeah.
Like, how much did you make gambling?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and people are like, oh, he'll just go to the China League or something like that. Like, people that coach like sports, like, it doesn't matter what country it is. When they see something like that, no, it's a no-go. You know what I mean? Because if you did it once, you would do it again. So it's just, it blows my mind. Like if he was betting on another team or something like that, like I wouldn't care.
Right.
But he bet on the team that he played for to lose a specific game, and he took himself out of that game.
Yep.
It's a bad look. That's a super bad look. What you got?
I don't have anything.
Oh, I thought you were typing in something on the Portnoy.
No, I do have some. I have like a little video pulled up I could play if it'll happen, right?
Toronto Raptors forward Jonte Porter has been banned from the NBA for life.
Yeah, hold on.
The league announced. The NBA said that Porter provided confidential information to bettors, limited his own participation in games for gambling purposes, and bet on NBA games. So, whoa, just as a pretty significant consequence here. What message is the league trying to send?
That there's not going to be any wiggle room in gambling for players in this league, and not just players, but team personnel. There are lots of people in the NBA besides players who have access to a lot of confidential information. And I think the message is not just about Jonte Porter, but about everybody in this league. And, you know, you talk to teams and agents and people around players. It is, since this first Jonte Porter news broke, it has been a constant conversation of reminding people of the consequences. Adam Silver made an example of Porter, but this is still an ongoing investigation. Certainly federal law enforcement is involved in this, and the league is keeping this investigation open. But listen, we are in a world where we are immersed in gambling in NBA arenas, on social media, on teams' own social media feeds.
Amen.
And it is a reminder that, you know, for the NBA, this is certainly in all of this today, to see that Jonte Porter bet on his own team to lose is certainly a damning revelation.
Damn. That's so bad.
All right.
For like $22,000. Yeah.
Oh, great. All right. No, like after the video wasn't up, could you still hear it playing?
Oh no.
Okay, good. Yeah.
$22,000. $22,000. You give up millions for fucking pocket change in your world.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Crazy,
Jeez.
crazy.
Yeah. And then you go from that crazy to the transition Middle East crazy. It's just nuts right now, man. 300 drones and missiles. But this is the funniest thing to me, all right, from a military standpoint. I was in the military, my dad was in the military, yada yada yada. Who cares? They fired 300 drones and missiles from Iran.
Iran did that, yeah.
Yeah, towards Israel, and they didn't hit anything. Do you know how bad your military is?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Like 300 of anything. If I were to blindfold myself and put myself at the center of the court and shoot a basketball backwards into the hoop behind me, and you gave me 300 chances to do it, I'm probably going to do it.
Right.
They hit nothing. And then I guess Israel retaliated last night or something like that. Like they hit something, but man, it's just all bad.
So does that mean Iran has now entered the fight or what?
Well, this is the thing. Okay. People like Iran has, because I always watch those military videos where it's like, this country has this many members and this country has this many members, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. And they did one that was in Israel versus Iran. Iran has more soldiers. They have older weaponry as far as ground and stuff like that, like a lot older. So it's not that reliable. Hence, they fired 300, drones and rockets at a country and didn't hit shit. You know what I mean? So, if they enter the fight, I don't know. That'll destabilize the region because everyone's like, "Oh, Israel versus Iran." I'm like, no. Between Israel and Iran, right there between them is Iraq. You know what I mean? And Iraqis and Iranis, they already don't like each other. You know what I mean? So you could involve them in a fight. The big thing is that I watched this video, and I don't know if you want to pull it up. It's about a minute long, and what it is I think it's the second in command of Hamas. His son defected, and he left, and he was on Dr. Phil, and he was just crushing these two girls because he's like, you guys don't understand what Palestine even is. Like Palestine is the Muslim world is a lot of tribes. It is very tribalistic. You have Sunnis, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And they all have different belief structures. They're all Muslim, but their belief structures are different. If Israel didn't exist, they would fight each other.
Right.
Which is what you saw in the first Gulf War when Iraq invaded not Saudi Arabia, Kuwait. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're why would one Muslim country attack another? Because they're different tribes. You know what I mean? So they don't get along.
Afghanistan have lots of different tribes.
Exactly. So if Israel didn't exist, then those areas would implode on themselves. Like one country would try to take over another and over another and over another. And it's a bunch of different tribes. And I did not see that coming when he's like, you guys don't know shit. Like, I don't know if you can find the video, but like, you know what I mean?
Well, who was it? What is it?
If you typed in Hamas defector Dr. Phil, it would probably pull it up. It's like a 1 minute clip, but I was just like, damn, because he's like talking about the way these girls are dressed because they're like dressed like they're from there, and he's like, you guys don't know shit. me see if I can. Because you're
like,
on.
Oh shit, that's too long of a video. Hold on. Let's do. Well, I can see it, but I can't find. Wait, maybe this is it.
Yeah, it's a short. It's Dr. Phil's audience goes silent as son of Hamas founder shocks Palestine activist with facts. And it looks like that.
Mm-hmm. It's not this, is it?
Something you condemn,
Yes.
and you say, well, you have to look at that by looking at hundreds of years of conflict. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Right.
That's either right or it's wrong, and it was wrong, and I don't need 100 years of conflict to know it was wrong. When somebody comes over a fence and goes into someone's house and burns their infant in its crib, I don't give a damn why they did it. It's wrong. When I ask you if what
Nah, it's not that one.
Not that one.
Nah, it's not that one. It's like it says the second in command son of Hamas, like posts at like Palestinian activists. But but like when this guy talks, like I know he's pissed off because he's talking to women. You know what I mean? Nothing against women. All right. I'm talking about the way that Muslim men from Palestine, from Iran, from Iraq, they don't. Let me tell you a quick story while you're looking that up. When I worked at AT&T long time ago, all right, my manager was a woman. She was a black woman, super nice lady, awesome manager. Two guys came in. They were from the Middle East. I was already helping a customer. She tried to help them. They would not talk to her. They're like, we're waiting for him. She's like, well, I'm his manager. I can help you. They're like, no.
Yeah.
And she like, I wrapped it up with, with the customer I had. And then I went to him and I helped them out. After they left there, she was like blown away. She's like, what the hell is that about? I'm like, look, I'm not saying what they did was right, but this is the cultural way of things with them. They don't want to talk to you, number one, because you're a woman and I'm a man. I'm standing right here. They want to talk to me. They are from here. Like, and she was just kind of pissed off about it. I'm like, look, it's a cultural thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they were calling you bad names underneath their breath. You know what I mean? They're like, no, we will just talk to him.
Right. When I was the housing manager for the city, and had to do inspections on places, so where we had like a lot of the Afghans people lived at, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're Muslim, but it has to do with like their culture and their kind of way of life. And so when I show up to like do the inspections and knock on the door, and a woman would answer, and she'd be up in her, all her covered
her
up
garb,
gear, and they wouldn't speak to me because they're not allowed to speak to any other men. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like they'd either go get the daughter who's kind of like more Americanized and it's okay, or they'd go get the husband and he comes and talks to me, but the women weren't allowed to speak to me.
Yep. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. But no, like the Hamas, the what?
They have a lot of kids.
Well, yeah. Shit.
A lot of arranged marriages.
Yeah.
Here, I might have it pulled up here. Let me try it one more time here. I'll just play some of it at least.
happened. The son of a Hamas co-founder and leader was on the Dr. Phil show just recently, and he confronted a pro-Palestinian or anti-Israel, as we should say, activist. Have a watch of this.
To you, Hamas and Palestinians are the same. They're one and the same.
After October 7, yes, there is no difference.
Really?
The vast majority of the Palestinian people support Hamas.
Really?
This is a fact. This is proven by statistics, and your silence now. You cannot even condemn Hamas and say that what they did on October 7 was an act of a savage group. You don't have that power. You were a decent human being. You can say that the thousands were killed on October 7. That was a crime against humanity. It was a genocide.
Do you
look at his eyes? You know what I mean? Like, that's a dude that holds shit.
The whole society in some way complicit. We know from the polling that 71% plus still support, even in March 2024, support what Hamas did, the most atrocious, barbaric act against the Jewish people not seen since the Holocaust. They support it by and large. It's the society that supports it. You know, Hitler in 1933, he only managed to get through the last democratic election.
Dude, like, you saw his eyes, like, you know what I mean? Like, he had that 1,000-yard stare thing. Like,
yeah, he did.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is just wild.
Yeah, it's pretty awful what's happened to people over there.
Yeah. And everybody's like, well, who's going to win this war? I'm like, nobody wins war. Nobody wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people die on both sides. There's no winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody's coming home to a gold medal.
No.
People die. But war is never, you know what I mean? Like, there's never a winner. Everybody loses.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, but
man.
Yeah, brutal. Like that whole, like I watched that whole segment and like he just tears into them. Cause I guess they're like college students that live here in the United States or something that
Yeah.
are like pro-Palestinian, but they're wearing like, you know what I mean, these certain garbs. And he like roasts them. He's like, you don't even know what you're wearing. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, that right there doesn't go with that or something. I don't know, man. I was just like, damn. Like, ugh.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Super rough. You know what's not rough though?
What?
The Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian beef right now.
They're having beef?
Yes. Dude, I'm loving everything that's going on right now. And you know it. Drake versus Rick Ross and Kendrick, J. Cole, and Metro Boomin. Yeah, let's involve the producer. Like all the hip hop with the beef right now.
Right.
And then there's
Right.
a beef between Taylor Swift, the Swifties, and Kim Kardashian. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, we got pop icons and social media icons. Let's call it.
What are they beefing about?
I have no idea, but I'm here for it, man. Roast up that popcorn. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. Like, everybody's just at each other's throats right now, and I'm just here for it. Yeah, because, I mean, the Kendrick thing, that came out of nowhere for me. Like, I didn't know he felt that, he was feeling that sort of way. And he just dropped it. And I was like, damn, okay. And then, J. Cole responded, but then he deleted it, which
He responded, and then he like apologized, and then he kind of bowed out. So then I was just
Drake. He just doesn't want to begin it.
And then I think Kendrick responded again. Now, for some reason, Rick Ross is on Kendrick's side and is going after Drake. And yeah.
Oh, I think Pusha T is getting put into it also.
Oh, God.
Which is great. I love it. I'm here for it. I am 100% here for it. Because the crazy thing is I heard J. Cole's and I was like, damn, okay, J. Cole went in. You know what I mean? And then he apologized and he bowed out of it. And I think I know why J. Cole did. He's like, I'm not the biggest J. Cole listener. You know what I mean? I know he's talented. I know he's hip hop in a true form. But I think that J. Cole could have bodied everybody that is inside of that right now. And he's like, you know what? Let me just sit this one out because it looks like it's going to get a little rough. You know what I mean? And when things get rough in the hip hop community, people end up dead.
Right.
It's a fact. You know what I mean? People, they got their goons in the street and all that kind of shit. Like, people end up dead. Let's keep it a buck. So J. Cole's like, I could battle all these dudes and just destroy them all, but now I'm gonna sit this one out. You know what I mean? Because did you hear J. Cole's response?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. You know what I mean? And the thing that pisses me off about rap beefs though is like they get the lyrics down and there's some quips in there, there's some good punchlines and good one-liners, but the overall like the beats part of it, like the instrumentally, part, they're always ass. The only one that has a really good beat is believe it or not, Rick Ross. His background, like the beat on his disc was actually decent. Other ones are like they're played on, like, you remember those keyboards we got as a kid that was all electronic and like doop, 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 boop, boop, you know what I mean? Like it's really, really bad, So I wish that, and everyone was like, what about the Metro beat? The Metro beat isn't even a Metro beat. Like that beat is from like 1987. And then 3-6 Mafia used it again in 1994, 1995.
Right, so it's sampled.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the same exact beat. Like he didn't do anything new. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing new added to it. Maybe he turned up the bass a little bit.
We'll have to maybe next time talk about that beef and like go through the verses and how everybody's responded so far.
And then we can mention our favorite rap beefs and best diss records of all time.
Yeah.
Next week, guys. Next week.
Okay. Next week.
Absolute burners.
All right. Well, we'll do that for next week. And we got a big day tomorrow. So
yeah, for sure.
We'll probably cut it short. Thanks for anybody who watched it live. Thanks for anybody who watched it after the fact. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next week on the Red Eye Hour.
Right on.
See you, everybody.
What?